we're just going to let this roll, and
Fine.
you know, we're not going to start and stop.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah, that's fine.
you know. So.
Okay, so about 3 years ago, I started spending a lot more time in the water, and some of these smaller cameras had come out and given me an opportunity to shoot some stuff underwater without having to deal with the big camera setups for underwater. So I started a project called Under St. John, and it was originally a 6-part series. And after a couple of years of dealing with attempts at getting grants and all that through the local grant places, which didn't turn out correctly, or the way that I'd hoped, I just decided to go ahead with the project just by myself. And so the project basically turned from a 6-part series into one film, basically the same 6 parts, but one film. And in the end, one of the parts was what I'd hoped for originally. Was I had a friend that was going to write some prose, and I was going to take some local music and put the prose behind it and have that play as sort of just a glimpse of our underwater world where you could kind of swim through, almost a fish point of view was kind of my thoughts there. But and so there you had it. You know, I had the 6 parts, which were basically set up on environmental, activist, historical. You know, I covered the lionfish with core, which I've been dealing with for a while. The breeding grounds over in the mangroves. The history side with Tektite and NOAA and NASA and their project back in the late 60s. And what was the other part? I can't remember right now, but we'll go back to that.
Angel, how did you come to be involved in the project? How did you and Frank get to know one another, and how did you become a part of this?
Well, I've known Franklin for almost about 7 years, actually. Just known him from a couple of friends of ours, just knew each other. We ended up meeting each other. I didn't even know Franklin was a director at the time when I first met him, you know what I mean? We just met each other casually, like, hey, what's up? Really good person, down to earth, you know, keeps it real all the time. And then I eventually found out that he was into directing. So, I mean, I've been a very aggressive musician for a while now, and, you know, one of the components that I was missing was trying to get like a little video out there, or footage, or media, you know, trying to push my music out there to the next level or whatever, but it just wasn't about that. I really thought that, you know, some of the stuff that I saw that Franklin used to post on his page was like really cool stuff, you know, stuff that I hadn't seen before, you know, just the way that he would shoot certain things, the way that he would reflect colors, you know, different things, and we all like to be unique in our own sense, you know what I mean? So I eventually started talking to Franklin about trying to do a video, and that might have been, I don't know, 5 years ago or more.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years ago at least.
Yeah, it's been a while, you know, but you know how it is when we are all balancing our lives, with dealing with our responsibilities and our jobs and families and so forth and so on. So eventually, very recently, Franklin decided, you know, that he had enough time now, you know, to actually put something on his shoulders and make something definitely unique and different, you know, something that he loved to do, something that he had a passion of doing, which the Under St. John project kind of needed a little musical background. He wanted to go more local or original, one would say, you know, so rather than you know, getting different types of music from other people, because he wanted to incorporate St. John. And being that I'm a artist from St. John, Love City, he felt that maybe like looking into the Love City artists would be a good fit for the Under St. John project. And eventually we ended up talking about it, so we ended up working together on original score called The Rhythm of Life, and which, when he was showing me all the footage, you know, he was telling me different things about how the ocean moves. You know, he was like, man, I've been listening.
Basically what happened was I'd gone out and I'd been shooting static shots. I needed some stock footage just to throw in with this project. And I had really gotten into setting up static shots and letting the ocean actually move, and not me moving through stuff. Let the ocean move on itself. So literally, when people looked at it, it felt like they were in a fish tank, you know, just looking at the most beautiful stuff you could. It's also a lot easier to light, obviously. There's not so much movement, and you really see what's there. It's not, you're not looking from a point of view of some other diver. You're looking at a point of view of like a fish swimming by, or, you know. And I got home one day, and I had come across an album that I had heard back in mid '80s. That was probably one of my favorite reggae albums. Lee Scratch Perry. It's an import. Time Boom the Devil Dead. One of my favorite albums of all time. And I'd recently gotten a copy of it, so I'd put it on and was listening to it while I was watching the footage. And all of a sudden I realized that everything was on the beat. The stuff that I was shooting was on the beat. It was, and if I sped it up or slowed it down, I just noticed it. And the minute I noticed it, I knew exactly what I wanted to do.
And the rhythm of life.
And the rhythm of life was born. Basically, Angel came over. I said, look, we've been talking about a music video for years. You know, I've listened to your music. I love it all, but it's the stories told in your music didn't relate to kind of what my idea was in any way. So I said, I've got this idea. I was watching this, and it kind of made me think the rhythm of the sea. It's kind of the rhythm of life. And since this film is based on the community, it's a rhythm of life around here. I mean, since the film is about the community's connection with the sea and all that, it basically told the story of the rhythm of life around here.
Okay.
Around here on the island.
Now, tell me about how you were able to put this all together on a shoestring budget without
No
the luxury
budget.
of grants, without, you know, anybody backing you. How were you able to go out every day and get this footage and spend the countless hours that it must have taken to create all of those edits,
Yeah.
all of those cuts?
Hard work and perseverance.
Yeah. In my mind, the song was the thing that was needed more than anything. You know, I've been collecting footage for years, so I had footage. I had seen just in that clip and listening to the music, I saw my vision right there. I mean, the vision was almost instantaneous. And then I thought, you know, what I'd like to do is have a song that's around here. And so the most important part was when Angel and I got together and we began talking about it, the minute he saw it and I explained it, he said, oh, I have a track. I said, look, let's write a song. Let's make it about St. John.
How much of you writing that song was based on Frank's vision or stuff that you all had collaborated on in the past?
Long story short, basically when Franklin had actually came to me and we had touched base, and he was like, man, like I was saying earlier, you know, just the way that the ocean moves, it just seems like it's moving to reggae, you know, out of all the genres of music. And I've been filming for a long time, and this is my passion, this is what I love, you know, I film under the sea all the time, and you know, it seems like the reggae, it just seems like the ocean is moving to it. So, and like he just said, he listened to his album, the Lee Scratch Perry, and everything just made sense. So he really wanted to do a reggae track, and when he was talking to me, and when he said rhythm of life, because you know how directors are, you know, they have quick, they're all over the place, you know what I mean? The inspiration is like a whole spectrum 360 around their brains, you know what I'm saying? So basically when he said rhythm of life, like a bell went off in my head when he said those words, like ping, you know, and I was like, yeah, rhythm of life, that's a really catchy phrase that Franklin just said. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna run with that,